Cheers.
Cheers.
Wow, that was
Welcome to
fast.
Deep Fried
We're live
Neurons.
all of a sudden, and all of a sudden live.
We're live. I mean, that's what we do, I guess.
Woohoo!
Welcome to
Yes.
Deep Fried Neurons. I'm feeling the need for some rainbows right now.
Oh, rainbows.
These are rainbow goggles with
I like it.
many colors.
Nice.
So only rainbows for you, not rainbows for us.
Well, I mean. Oh wait, actually, you can see a little bit.
Oh
Right.
yeah, a little bit. Yeah, totally.
Hold
That's
on.
good.
You kind
This
of
is Deep Fried Neurons.
This
This is Deep Fried Neurons Happy Hour.
is yes. It's
And
Deep
I
Fried
actually
Neurons.
I have a line for us to edit this time. We're here to make social distancing social and to make things to help get us through the new waving czar.
There you go.
That's all I get.
We bring the social to social distancing.
Yeah, bring the social to social distancing.
Wait, I thought we were bringing the anti-social to social distancing.
Yes.
That would be like our normal.
We're trying.
That would be like not much
Yes.
Yeah.
We're trying to take a step forward from that. Yeah.
Yeah. It's tricky though because at one point there was the idea that this would be like temporary. You know what I mean? That there was going to be social distancing and then people would behave themselves and we would be able to pull a New Zealand. But now it seems like this is a bit more indefinite, isn't it?
Yeah, since we're so good at being dumb.
Well, I mean, we were very much encouraged to be dumb by the social structures that we. So we're working on changing that, which is nice.
We don't have good role models.
We don't, but we pulled on some of the bad ones.
That's true.
Yeah. What are you drinking, Todd?
I'm drinking.
Who are you, Todd? And what are you drinking?
Oh, who am I? I'm Todd Bot. I drink cheap wine on the internet.
Yeah.
So this week it's called Moon X. And I've created the ad copy in the back because it's.
Are you sure it's not Moon?
Well, I'm pretty sure it's Moon X. So this juicy, super dense wine is inspired by the onyx blackness of a new moon, a lunar phase occurring when. Because I have to explain what a new moon is. Loaded with intense dark flavors of blackberries, raspberry jam, and basically it's grape juice that is alcoholic, and it has the fourth most important part of a wine for me. Over first there's cheap, then there's first there's red wine, then there's cheap, then there's has to have a screw on top, which this doesn't, but the fourth one has to have a cool label, and this one says Moon on it, so that's why I got Moon. Trader Joe's, $7.
Oh, again with the $7. We've moved into the $7 range of the quarantine.
Yeah, it's gone up a little bit, but an extra dollar.
Things are getting serious. 2 weeks in a row now, man. With the $7 wine.
We've reached a new plateau.
Yeah, this
reached a new level of quarantine.
Well, now that I'm drinking for a job. It's part of my work.
Good job, huh?
Yeah, I mean, How about you, Barb? What are you drinking? It looks like you're drinking a wine. Oh, actually, first, who are you, Barb? And what are you drinking?
I'm Barb. I make things, and Barb makes things and all the things that you can make. I am drinking. I've got a Gewürztraminer. Which is interesting. It's a Gewürztraminer.
How do you say that again?
Gewürztraminer.
It's German. It's just.
No, I know. I've seen the name of that type of wine before, but I've never been able to pronounce it correctly.
It's a kind of sweet white dessertish wine.
It's like a dessert wine, right?
Yeah. I enjoy it. I like it. I got this in a Riesling, which also these are also $7. So
yeah.
Also doesn't have a screw top. My label's not as cool, but they say that it's 90 points.
Oh.
Ooh.
I'm not a wine snob, but I do. There have been periods in my life when I drank wine more than now. I've been drinking more different things since we started this live stream because it's like, okay, I gotta have different things.
Gotta have some variety.
I gotta have some variety, not just drink Newcastle every week. But so
Well,
yeah,
I've noticed that like the nicer wines are typically have the more boring labels.
Well, the ones I want you to
it's not a. It's not.
Yeah.
How about you, Carlin? Who are you?
I don't know. But I am drinking. What am I drinking? Not enough. I'm drinking the orange flavored fizzy water from Trader Joe's. And it has cheap triple sec and vodka in it. I mean, not cheap triple sec, less cheap vodka, and pomegranate juice.
Ooh, let's see it.
Yeah, cheap
cool.
triple sec, man, ruins everything. It tastes like baby aspirin. It's like not a good look. So I am.
You say that like it's a bad thing.
I'm trying to like figure out ways to use up the cheap triple sec because I much prefer slightly better triple sec. And I'm wondering if you can't make triple sec by like soaking citrus in vodka. Like, can you just make triple sec? So, I mean, we made limoncello, so maybe I could just make triple sec.
Yeah, it's orange flavored. Is that triple sec?
It's orange flavored. Grand Marnier and Cointreau are sort of like fancy triple sec. But I'm thinking maybe by next week I might try to make some triple sec. Actually,
the etymology of the term triple sec is unclear, according to.
No, you know me, etymology.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, hey, look, I'm pulling a Carlin. I'm pulling
etymology.
You are pulling Carlin.
Wow.
I like etymology too. We could totally have that be like the sub theme of our live stream.
Deep fried word origins.
Being nerds and making things and etymology. Deep fried word origins. All right, for accessible content here.
Soon the entire title of the show won't even fit in a tweet.
Yeah. But we use acronyms. We have a 3-letter acronym. We're DFN.
Yeah, but that's bad for SEO, Carlin.
Oh.
Yeah, so is having a word in your name that everybody, including us, defaults to typing as friend.
Oh,
totally.
It took a while to
autocorrect. I think I am gonna stand. This is a hill that I'm not gonna die on, but I will have a coma on maybe. Then it's autocorrecting because it doesn't believe that. No, that doesn't actually make any sense because after the word deep, what is the most likely word? It's not friend.
Deep friend.
Like that's a different show.
What do you mean, Carlin?
That's our 3 a.m. show.
Hello. Deep Fried Neurons happy hour after dark. Word origins.
Yeah.
That's it.
DFN ADWO. No, DFN HHADO.
I'm kind of tempted to do that one day.
Yeah. We keep just like the acronym gets longer and longer. Love it.
Oh, that's good.
Oh. All right. So, should we? What did we do today, Todd?
What did we do today?
What did we do? What was our theme?
Yeah. Was this the theme? Because I mean, mostly I just laid on the floor today.
Yeah.
Face down.
Oh, like the owl.
Yes, like the baby owls that sleep face down.
Owl.
Yes.
You know this?
Face down. Show us. I want to see. I need to see face down baby owls.
Let's see.
I think I need that, and I also need to finish this class and get on to another one.
Let's see.
There. Click on
You
that.
got it?
Yeah.
Owls. Jay's here. Hi, Jay.
This is.
Baby owls. And I know you're not supposed to drink white wine in like this kind. You're like,
Oh,
you're supposed to do the stem thing. I am too clumsy for stemmed classes.
Yeah, no, those glasses are really cool.
Here you go.
Yeah. I'm a big
Yeah.
fan. I like the shape.
That's the face down baby owl.
It's a pleasant. Okay.
Yes.
He's not a drunk owl.
Yeah, because the weight of their heads means they can't sleep with their head up.
Oh. Yeah, but like on your face?
Apparently, I don't know. Oh, look at
Like
that.
you would think, okay, with your face out like that. Okay, I could see that. I was thinking like just like face
Oh,
flat
look at
into
the look at the little murder bird.
Oh. Hi, murder bird.
Yeah,
Aww.
Someday we'll be murder birds.
cozy murder bird.
That's my goal in life.
Be a murder bird.
Be a
Yeah.
murder bird.
Be a cozy murder bird.
Cozy
Squad goals.
murder bird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I need my to-do list. Be cozy murder bird.
Yeah.
I have to write it down.
Okay. What did we do, Dad?
What, yeah,
All right,
yeah.
so-
What's the theme?
Our theme this week was, what was it called? Bow ties and tiaras.
Yeah, tiaras and bow ties.
Tiaras and bow ties. Essentially, everyone's doing so much video conferencing now. What should we do to make our video conference presentation selves a little bit more fancy when it's warranted? And we all took it in slightly different directions, I think.
I don't think any of us made either a tiara or a bow tie.
No.
Correct. And I was seriously going to go down the route of a little PCB routed, because I got the little like other mill back there, to make PCBs. I was gonna make a little PCB then in a bow type shape and make little LEDs on it, but I figured that was a little bit too literal and also required effort. And my effort this week has been very low.
Yeah.
Jay said you didn't 3D print them, and I think clearly we needed Jay to 3D print.
Oh yes, no, sorry Jay. I also was going to try to 3D print something, but I ran into the problem of how to do bends in Fusion, and so I gave up.
Ooh.
I mean, I know how to do some bends, but not the type of bend I wanted to do for wrapping around my big forehead. So,
Yeah. Jay has in fact made 3D printed bow tie.
Yeah.
I think I've seen it. Yeah. Uh-oh,
I-
I'm losing Barb.
Have one.
It's a Jason
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, and Jay says you could bend PLA, but yes, my desire was to have the CAD model be representative of what was to be done, rather than just have it do like a post-processing step. But
She
So
needs like
instead-
a scan of your head.
yeah, so instead I made it out of cardstock and gaffer tape,
Okay.
the thing that I made. Oh, and foam tape.
I love
Those
it.
are two very, very useful things.
Foam tape is
Yeah, I
super
channeled my crafty barbness. I was like, what can I do? What can I do that's just craft materials? Because I don't actually do much stuff with like foam tape. What is foam tape? You don't know what foam
my
tape
gosh.
is. So foam tape is tape,
It's
double-sided
foam.
double-sided tape that has foam in the middle, and it's great because it acts as a little bit of as a when you're joining things that don't have regular thickness, this can help kind of soak up the thickness differences. And yeah, it's mostly terrible stuff because it doesn't adhere very well, but then it'll adhere too much. We try to peel it off, and it never comes off.
It's true.
Yes, it's double stick tape with foam in the middle. Like contrast that with double stick tape, Scotch tape, which is great for like two pieces of paper and cardboard, but not very good for doing things that has to like move or whatever. So the thing I made is this LED headband that uses neural language processing and semantic or sentient or real-time sentiment analysis in a machine language learning system to turn my micro expressions into macro expressions. Oh no, I'm having all the expressions at once.
Gee, your micro expressions sure are very clicky.
Ah.
Clicky
I love
sound.
it.
But really, all I'm doing is I'm pressing keys on a keyboard. There's a tiny trinket here that's driving the NeoPixels. It's running CircuitPython, listening to the serial port on the computer. And when I press a key, like when I press 1, it lights up this one. Press this 2, lights up that one. Press this 3, it lights up this one. And the only really interesting part of the code for this is how do you detect individual key presses in CircuitPython? And there's a trick. And in the blog post, there's a link to the gist for this code that has the trick. And it's kind of interesting. It's like 2 lines. It's not that super interesting because like how often do you need to read single keystrokes from the serial port of a CircuitPython program? Hardly at all. But this is what I got. Can you zoom in on it? The other kind of interesting thing about this is that I'm using white amber NeoPixel strips instead of the standard RGB strips, and you can actually visibly tell the differences when you look at them. Here, let me get 2 that are of the same pitch, so as not to confuse. So if we zoom in here, oops. So the ones on, like this one is the white amber, and this one is the RGB, and you can tell that the white ambers have like this yellow sort of center, and that's the different colored phosphors that light up for the cool white, the warm white, and I think the amber color might just be like an orange LED, so maybe that doesn't have an actual coating, phosphor coating. But the nice thing about these is that they actually will work as illumination because they emit like broad spectrum white light that looks kind of nice. And so I use that mostly just because I had it available. But also
is there spectrum available in the data sheet?
Not for these, because these are like the cheap ones that fell off the back of the truck on AliExpress. But I think they're all about the same, and they have a curve that looks a lot more like good wide LED bulb.
Yeah, because that's one of the things when you get LED lights for. A lot of people will buy like an LED light to like put over their plant, and that's not great because it doesn't actually have.
Yeah.
It looks like it's full white, but it doesn't actually.
Yeah,
have
yeah, and
right
same thing for like lights for video shooting. It's like you want to get the ones that have a CRI index or whatever of some 95 or whatever, because yeah, the LEDs put out light that the camera sensors don't pick up correctly, and so you'll look all weird unless you get high CRI LED panels. So yeah. But anyway, so that was my little thing. It was mostly a silly thing, but I do because I'm all about like LED notifications because of, oh, by the way, there's a sale on Blink Ones at thingam.com. Yeah. Because I'm all about LED notification, I thought it'd be interesting because one of the problems we have in video calls is it's kind of hard to pick up on the subtle physical communication that we do when we're in the same space as each other, and so having something that could somehow make the tiny emotions more visible on these video calls could be interesting. So this was a joke because I'm actually typing the emotions, but and I don't have a path to get to like something that actually really work. But
I wonder
like
if you could
What's that?
I was wondering, is there a way to, when you do, like, to blend with a camera feed?
A blend?
Like, so is there a way that you could do something screen-based? You could have
So it
it.
overlays something on the screen.
Yeah.
There you go. All right, that's the plug. That's it. We don't need any more.
Uh,
But yeah, it's like there's clearly something that we could do. Like, kind of like, what are the emoji equivalents of video chat? Like, we pepper our text communications with emoji to try to make it a little bit, to try to get through some of this emotion that we're expressing, and we get a lot of that with video. But I think there's a bit we're not getting with.
but
with
is
this
it
kind of
what the
stuff.
text back channel is for?
Yeah, totally. Yeah. As I
Same.
type furiously into the comments.
As I type seriously into the comments, yeah.
So that was my bow tie tiara video conference decoration. Who's next?
That could also. I just wanted to comment about it because I like it. That could also be useful as a thing to wear out when you're wearing masks and can't actually express your emotions.
Oh, yeah, actually.
You know,
Yeah.
in camp all this week we've
Yeah,
been
on
saying
your
we need
own.
to do sign language so we can
Mhm.
it's like, I'm smiling, you can't see it, but I'm smiling. Or
Yeah.
you can see
Totally.
that much of a difference with your eyes if you're smiling, but if you're wearing safety glasses too, it's like it's just gone.
Yeah,
Happy,
totally.
sad, hi, whatever.
This is why I'll need to learn sign language, so we can do
There's also some, I think it's a bit controversial.
Oh yeah.
But there's something called cued speech. With some deaf people who are good at lip reading use cued speech. There's I don't know it at all, but it's not full sign language, but it's a syllabary. That it's little hand signals that you put near your face to help emphasize what sound is coming out of your mouth, I think. I'm not super familiar with it.
It's like lip reading plus.
Yeah, it's like augmented lip reading.
That could be very handy in a world of mask wearers.
Yeah, someone
where
I
lip
knew
reading is not possible.
with his son, and yeah, I didn't know it very well, but I just know it existed. It maybe it's a little controversial, I think, because I think not everybody in the deaf world is about mainstreaming. But it's an interesting phenomenon. Like it could actually really be helpful in a mask society, because the way masks filter out all the pitchiness,
high frequencies, yeah.
it's brutal for those of us with aging hearing.
Yeah.
For those of us who are just kind of always distracted.
All right, Barb, you or me is next.
I'll go.
Okay.
So, so part of this is thinking about work video calls. My work is weird. So our operations director and I, at some point during this thing, we're talking about becoming pirates. It was a while ago, so I'm really not quite certain how we got there. But yeah, so we were talking about pirates, and we say fancy things, and I'm like, yeah, let me go ridiculous with that. So I made a pirate hat.
It's so
cool.
Out of cardboard.
That's awesome. Out of Honey Nut Cheerios? Is that what I'm saying?
It is cereal boxes. So there's Honey Nut Cheerios. There's, I think, frosted mini wheats in here. And actually inside, you can see there's whatever
That's
Sprouts had for Cheerios, and then
it's so good, so good.
So so there's that, and then there's also, if you can see, there's this kind of paper packing material.
Yeah.
And then there's the feather, which I'm pretty happy about the feather, and I'm not done with it yet.
Oh, that's
Clearly,
cool.
which is why it's not glued in. Let me get this to a place where it's. Yeah.
And
So
the braiding around the edge. Sorry, I got
it's fine. Yeah. It's corrugated cardboard, and then I used like a craft knife. Actually, I would have used a regular craft knife, but I was at work on lunch break when I was working on this the other day. So I used the little like retractable tiny pocket craft knife thing that I carry in my back pocket to do this. Whatever, craft knife. And yeah, you just do that, and then you can like adjust them and make it look a little bit more feathered.
That's cool.
And then at this point, I layered it up with alternating the flute, so it would be a little bit stronger here at this center.
Oh, that's nice.
And I'm hoping, or I'm intending to take this and go over it with some watered down acrylic paint and get a little bit of like gradients and color going on this.
We're gonna need an update.
Yeah, and then the usually there's like a kind of a gold trim kind of thing. I just did the peeled out the corrugations.
Oh yeah.
That's really cool.
I'm pretty happy with it.
You should be.
I'm liking it. It's a little big to read on video, but it's subtle.
Yeah, that's interesting. The whole theater makeup versus
makeup.
Regular makeup. Like what's stuff done for stage versus
more like stuff done for. I would say that I do ridiculous sized things because I work with kids, but I would do this anyway. Let's be real.
There's a bit of a chicken and the egg. Like, why are you good with work? There's a little bit of a chicken and the egg, like there. Like, yeah, like who's willing to go for the? It's kids that are willing to go for the journey with you more often.
Yeah. I was thinking about doing kind of like a I'm gonna once I paint it, I'll do like a kind of I'll glue it in place so that it stays where it should be. But yeah.
Also like
this thing. Yeah, this is fun. Like I don't know what I got with this as the packaging, but I'm like, yeah, that's good. I was thinking about doing kind of like an ostrich feather type thing, but this is pretty decent. And I did a little bit. I couldn't find my my gold paint. When I do, I might go over this with some gold paint to make it a little bit more. But I'm still digging this, like the contrast.
A little bit more.
But yeah, that's my thing.
Nice.
A little more.
That's excellent.
Because it's not enough.
Now you need the big white poofy shirt, with their big ruffled cuffs.
And the Pirate King.
Oh yeah, I have something like that. Actually, so there's if I'm gonna I'll pimp a new show that's coming up, starting tomorrow, and I really need links, but I don't have them. But if you go to my Twitter, I will post the links. There's a new live stream that the same coworker who pirate thing with she's starting it's like an art show, so it's called Amy's Art Cabaret, and the first one is tomorrow at 2:00, and we're gonna make pirate things. So I'm gonna be expanding on. I don't think I'm gonna work on this. I think I'm gonna make like a parrot to go on my shoulder.
Yeah.
But probably also out of part. Yeah. So like we talk about art stuff and we make things. So
That's
it'll
excellent. That's excellent.
Yeah. It'll be fun. I was gonna show in case anybody else is looking to make a pirate hat, my reference, because I did use I looked this thing. Oh, okay, I have to show you this pirate hat because this pirate hat is like the shit. Seriously, it's really cool. it's not really like it's not. I'm not super. Like, I'm gonna add to this. I want to add more detail, but like, look at this freaking pirate hat.
Wow.
Oh wow.
How cool is that?
That's
And I want to do like a decoration like this center thing. In fact, I've already got like some cardboard cut out to do some kind of cool. I want to add. I want to make it neat. Like,
That's
but
really
look how
great.
freaking cool that is.
It's hard to believe it's all 3D printed.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but this person, pizzabytheslice.com, has has instructions for making a pirate hat or a tricorn hat, and which you can do in a lot of different ways. And so I use this a little bit as kind of inspiration for it, but I did use the this pattern to make my inside part here. Yeah. So if you want to make a hat, this is a very good reference.
Yeah, it seems pretty reasonable.
Yeah, I think I gave the link. I'm not sure if it's in the blog post, but I put.
I can add it.
Yeah, I put that in my description. Yeah.
Cool.
So this is useful in case you want to make your own pirate hat to use in the dogs.
Oh, it's
Lots of. Oh, there we go. That's a perfect thing to end it on. Cool.
Awesome.
So yes, that is my hat.
I like it. Good job.
Garland, tell us about what you make, because this is really cool.
What'd you make?
Oh,
Take off my jacket.
let's see. I'm wearing it.
Say what?
Yeah, it's what I've been wearing it this whole time. It's meant to be a necklace a la old Hollywood.
You look very fancy.
Thank you. Thank you. Here, I can just pull it into this window. Can I pull it into that one? Yeah, there we go. And then, can you show the window that I'm showing?
I can. Oh, you just had it on Todd, and you went away from it before I could get there. Okay, great. That's fine.
So I wanted to do sort of old Hollywood style jewelry. This is kind of a neat article linked to from the blog post about this place in Burbank that used to make it all. So it's super chunky. Again, that sort of like stage versus stuff that you would really wear in person.
Yeah, but it shows up great on camera, I bet.
Shows up great on camera. And so I was sort of thinking Art Deco, and I'm like, well, that's not really what I mean. I mean old Hollywood style because of that the chunky. Here we go, like that chunky vibe. Yeah. So it comes across great on camera. I mean, there's still detail in a lot of these things, but it's scaled at a size that communicates. And so I thought about using office supply type stuff to make the chunky. I'm trying to find there's a particular picture that Joseph Van Cleef's.
Yeah, the chunky, the visible on camera is definitely
the visible on camera aspect of it. And so here we go. This is the picture.
Wow.
This woman surrounded by all these chunky things. And so at one point, I was thinking of using like cardstock. Todd brought up like acrylic. We could laser cut it, blah, blah, blah. But there's something I think really nice about using something that's, this is like Scotch tape and paper. And you use regular office scissors to cut it up. Using like the paper doll, folded paper doll technique. And it is doesn't have a lot of like fussy detail on it. Although one could go back and like draw on it. Like I could go.
Mm-hmm.
Barb had mentioned at one point using like, oh, you could use your junk mail. That is also a very satisfying thing
Totally.
to use. So it's yeah. So I made. I guess you can hide this.
Yeah, I bet if you just like were to print out one of these necklace designs on a piece of paper and cut it out like you did that and wear it on camera, it would probably on the video conferencing camera, it would probably look pretty good.
You could, except for the printing it out. One of the things that this is very old Hollywood in that it's taped on. That seems like a very like staged.
Yeah.
Didn't quite do it enough.
So you into your clothing.
I think we do it. But barbecue, it's not all one piece
Mm-hmm.
at all.
Oh, really?
And so it's different segments.
Wait. Let me go view full screen.
That are at different angles.
Oh, I see.
And in this part, I tried to do a little cutting to sort of like
So
get
it's
it
3D.
to fold better. But you have to do a little bit of like folding and angles in order to get it to actually curve, which is what you know why jewelry has slip rings in it, and mail has slip rings in it. And so at one point, this attachment here, back of the camera, was at one point just a loop of paper over, so it could shift a little bit.
Yeah.
Which was great, except for the fact that none of these cuts are symmetrical, so I really needed to tape it down to like so I can sort of like make things line up. I think if I had been a little more careful, that would be like a version 2 would be to like do more like slip rings and stuff like that, like you use in real jewelry making, to get it like to move with the body more, instead of it being sort of more like a paper flyer. But that said, as you said, like it would be pretty easy to just.
But I mean, it looks pretty great. I mean, like, and the shadows that it casts on your skin look pretty cool too.
Something like that.
It looks really.
Yeah.
You could do It could go. Yeah, trying to do the backwards picture. It could go up.
Ooh, fancy.
Which is another. Oh gosh, I can't do the backwards camera thing. There you go.
I know. Yeah. I'm having the same problem.
It could be a collar. But yeah, there's a lot of like really amazing jewelry design.
Put it on your head.
I could go tiara.
I was thinking like mask, but
yeah, no, I was gonna say right over your face like that. That would be actually kind of cool.
It is kind of cool, actually. Okay.
That makes me think of in Game of Thrones, the woman who has like the whole
totally.
over her face in whatever that city is.
Yeah. There's a tiara. That's not a tiara.
There you go. Yeah.
But, so when I'm looking for inspiration, I guess back to the screencast, looking at, I wanted to do something, sorry, different window. There are,
nope, we're not seeing that one.
There we go.
All right.
And then also, I wonder if I can move this. Can I move this in that one? No, I can't.
Paper hat.
For a second.
Well, it's down here. It's sort of. I mean, you can go. Nuts. Oops, where did the heck go? This is on paper.
That's pretty cool.
And paper fascinators could have done that, something like that. Paper is a very viable,
great material.
Especially out here in California, or in Southern California, where it doesn't rain very often.
Yes. There's a technique called quilling that Barb is more familiar with than I am. It's a way to make sort of filigree, basically, out of paper. So good. So you sort of make a coil of paper and then you...
Oh, that's neat.
Shape it and fold it and pinch it.
Wow, yeah.
I haven't done it myself, but it's a really cool technique, and you can, I think, pretty quickly make some very fun, detailed looking patterns and shapes.
Yeah, and so a lot of these things are using a lot of the example of this. A lot of the books that I were looking at, or the ideas that I was looking at, had a very elaborate aesthetic, like fancy papers or colored papers or dyed papers or things that were hiding the fact that it was paper. And I was like, no, I want something chunky and sort of like obviously paper. And if it had been like, it could be funny if you were doing this out of like a memo that you printed out, or like emails that you printed out, or like forms that you printed out. That could be kind of funny. Or junk mail or something like that. But it because it was paper doll style, like these chains happen pretty quickly. It doesn't really take that long, and I think it'd be pretty easy for other people.
Now, were you expecting it to look like this, or how?
Well, I'll show you. I originally.
Hey, you had a sketch for this a while back, right? Like a couple days ago.
I'm thinking something like this. If I made it, it would just like I'd start cutting things and then be like, I guess that's what it's looking like. Okay.
Well, yes. That's exactly the process. Because I mean, once you start making something, the process informs your process. And so there was an original like idea. It was in this direction. So it's not the same. And I think if I had put it in a CAD thing, the reason why those are little lines, because I was thinking I could do like, well, if I laser cut it, maybe I could make those springy. Like laser cut little like springiness out of them, so they would be able to torsion more easily. But yeah, I like. But as I sort of did the paper doll thing, it ended up being like, well, I can do this pretty easily, and make different sizes pretty easily, and
it turned out really good.
Well, thanks, sweet. It's not perfectly symmetrical, but I worked with that in certain contexts, and
it's you know what, like,
oh, I hate it now. Then
like not perfectly symmetrical works for that.
Yeah, I think the fact is that it's not perfect, like, does really actually make it better, in its way. Yeah. Oh, and so I switched glasses to martini glass, partially canted into a martini glass. So I was like, I'm going to be talking about old Hollywood, like beverage needs to be in my timeline.
Totally.
That makes that seriously makes all the difference. That glass.
Glassware, man. No. Oh. There are so many different types of glasses. I don't know if either of you have ever looked into like the sheer number of glassware.
I try not to look too carefully because I feel like I would fall down that road.
Okay, so firstly, it's just all of these glasses versus these glasses. I mean, there's just so many glasses.
I have so many things in my save for later thing on Amazon.
I know. These are just the ones.
Just the different numbers of wine glasses is hilarious.
Or
I should say alcohol glasses.
Here we go. Here's another one. Interestingly enough, okay, so I know a little bit about this, partially because it's the Victorians that invented all of these things.
Victorians.
And we know fucking Victorians. My deep and abiding like love-hate relationship with Victorians, like Terrible, terrible people, the Victorians. And part of why we have so many, like, there were forks and so many different types of forks and so many different types of glassware, is it was a gating function to see who was still acceptable in society. Because we went from a situation where everybody knew each other in a village, and so if someone was new and a stranger, they had to be vetted, you knew the process, versus a society where there were new urban areas where you would meet strangers regularly for the first time. And to figure out whether or not someone was socially acceptable, one of your clues would be like, have they kept up on the code of dishware that this season is presenting? So it is super fun. Yeah, dishware, forks and the spoons and the table manners. Table manners were a vetting process to see whether or not this new
You
person.
picked up that fork?
Oh, then I can't do business with this person. I can't let them marry my daughter. I can't do this other thing because they haven't stayed up to date into the new manners. So manners, Victorian manners, really were about creating enclaves of people who knew the right, who posted the right Twitch videos. I mean, like
now it's now it's like now it's emojis like, oh, he sent you an eggplant emoji.
or like you're making faces with ASCII text, like.
Totally.
Oh no! So for me, if they're making it with ASCII text, I like it better. But like that's just
it's so much. Oh my god!
Oh, he's a green bubble text person. He's not a blue bubble text person.
Yes, no, it's exactly that type of thing where when people are overwhelmed by the number of people that they interact with, they invent these arcane rule sets that people have to be vetted by, and the Victorians were very good at generating all of these code sets that had varying degrees of actual meaning.
Totally. Yeah. Agreed, Jay. ASCII art is awesome.
It's true. Very true. And
he does make the point that Bloom is more encrypted than green when you're working on an iPhone because SMS is not encrypted. Never send anarchist whatever is on your green SMS roll. Don't do it. Use Signal. We should be using better. Don't make the perfect the enemy of the better.
No way, man. I post everything in clear text on Twitter. Everything.
Well, as as a white person, as a white woman who has doesn't really have a career where she's going to get fired for things, like I think actually some things, like posting them in clear text somewhere, like then you get to, like, yes, no one should be afraid of posting this. Come at me. Is when you have privilege, use it.
Yeah.
That's my opinion. Anyway, and wear big chunky paper jewelry.
Yes, agreed. Ooh, what's that?
It's not done yet.
Oh, the medallion.
That's gonna be the medallion on the side.
Yeah, it's gonna be one. I think whoa, hello. No, don't fall.
Uh-oh.
I think I'm gonna put this
hat attack.
Here. But I have to
that was good.
I think I might add some more cuts to it.
Yeah, it's gotta be colored too. Some contrasting color.
Oh yeah. I've got a gold Sharpie here.
Oh, fancy. Made with real gold colored paint.
All the colors.
So, Bob, I have a question for you about, you have a lot of really great markers, and I think I have some of them, and they smell like Sharpies. Are
most of my markers? No,
they don't smell like Sharpies? Because some of my fancy markers smell like Sharpies, even though they're not Sharpies.
Well, are we talking about permanent markers, or are we talking?
No, they're just the black.
This is the question.
The black markers that are like Illustrator markers. Not the Crayola, like, you know what I'm talking about? I think I've seen that you've.
No, I know exactly what you're talking about. I've got one right here. Are you thinking more like brush pen kind of things?
Yes, they tend to smell like
Yeah.
Sharpies. Do you know if they are permanent?
No,
Oh, mine
No.
smell like Sharpies.
none of mine smell like Sharpies. Like like that smell, that Sharpie smell. I think you only get when it's like. Well, a lot of these are still like water blendable. If
Okay.
it's a permanent thing, then sure, then you're gonna get that kind of smell, that kind of that chemically
I
smell.
think if they like bill themselves as being permanent, but they may be more waterproof oriented. Anyway, that's a digression.
There's others. Yeah, like this one is also kind of worn off, but this is a Tombow marker, which is both sides, and yeah, no, like nothing. But that's one of the things of these is that they're more they're like water, they're blendable.
Nice.
You can blend,
fascinating.
which is really nice.
Yeah. I do not think the ones that I have are blendable.
This is also a Tombow. I haven't
Blendable
tried
with
blending
what? Like vodka or what?
What?
Everything's blendable with vodka.
That's true. Yeah, no,
vodka.
these are blendable with water, or like Tombow. In a lot of their sets, they have a pen that is just like with water, or I don't know if there's anything else in the liquid that's in it. But it's just like a regular brush, but you can use it as like a blending kind of brush.
So my favorite markies are Sharpies, and this is my favorite format of the Sharpie because it's retractable. So good.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, right?
How
Retractable
do those
Sharpie.
It don't dry out?
Yeah.
What's that?
The question.
It doesn't dry out?
No.
How does it not dry out?
It's got some sort of a cover on it.
No, there has to be some different kind of there has to be something different going on in like whatever the
when that Sharpie runs out, Todd, we have to saw it in half.
Well, I mean, I've had this since 2007. So
how often do you use it?
Maybe like once every couple of weeks. I don't know.
So
like this is my collection. So this is to mark ground, this is to mark power, and this is to mark like another kind of power. This is the silver Sharpie, which is great for when you're drawing on something silver colored with the black Sharpie and you mess up. You can use the silver Sharpie to undo it.
My silver is downstairs.
Yeah, silver's awesome.
And the actual Sharpie's bin. My actual Sharpie's bin is downstairs.
Plus, silver Sharpie can write on black objects, which is very handy.
That's true.
We don't have any Sharpies in our food drawer.
So can golds.
No, they're in the pen drawer. Ooh, gold Sharpie, yeah.
Yeah, gold's good. Bronze, it's good. This is gold. This is bronze. I think it's gold. Yeah, that's gold.
Deep Fried Neurons, brought to you by the Sharpie Corporation.
Brought to you by markers everywhere.
That would be a sponsor I would accept.
Yeah,
I would accept that and Snickers.
As long as they
Snickers.
Snickers.
The
I'm
candy
like
bar.
Snickers.
Really
Snickers.
interesting. Tell me about it.
They satisfy. TM.
I think I just learned something new.
Uh-oh. I'm losing my...
I don't know who would...
I'm losing my...
What candy do I do?
Stick an LED strip in your hat and call it NeoPixels.
No, Sharpies are fun. Sharpies are good. Permanent pens, just in general.
Yes.
Which are not that permanent if you have a bottle of vodka.
Oh!
Vodka erases everything.
You know what else is good? If you are, for instance, writing on a whiteboard, let's just say that you're a teacher and you teach an after-school class in some other teacher's classroom. And if you somehow accidentally write on their whiteboard and Sharpie,
they're the worst.
You can get it off by using another Sharpie and drawing over it, and then you erase it, and it comes off. Sometimes you have to do it a couple times because like the smudge will like stick, but it will get it off, and you will not completely enrage the teacher whose room you were using.
Very good.
Jay is excited about something. I don't know what he's excited about.
Oh, hello. Where'd my computer go? There we go.
Jay, what are you excited about? Whatever.
Jay's excited.
He's excited. I have no idea what we were talking about. Absolutely
Drugs.
no idea.
Bob's circle thingy. Oh, the medallion that she cut out.
Yes,
cut
I
out.
think it was about the medallion.
It was very symmetric looking, I must say.
I gotta do.
Yeah.
It is. I use my cutting mat with like a grid. Because grids are cool. So are rulers. And
That's not a cutting mat. This is a cutting mat.
I have one of those too. That's somewhere else. That's somewhere else. This one is here now. Yeah. What was I gonna say? I was gonna say something I totally forgot.
About
All right.
markers,
Well,
Sharpie.
Anyway.
Stickers.
I think it's we're past time for you. You were worried that this was going to
Go short.
go short, but
I
we're
was
going
totally
on.
worried that
So, what? Tell us about our theme for
Sure.
Our next week theme.
Oh, our theme for next week. I went with something that's been on for any viewers who are not aware of this. We have a list that we have. Honestly, I think Carlin put together mostly. But there's one on there that I really liked, and I thought would be an excellent thing for us just in general. And signing on tonight, I'm like, this is the right choice.
Okay.
The theme is hugs. Making a hug, but not for yourself. Make a hug for somebody else. Because it's hard to hug people right now. Find some way of reaching out and giving somebody else some kind of hug.
I love it.
I
think that's great.
I'm gonna make a hug gun.
Tell us, Todd, how would your hug gun work? It shoots out like Spider-Man web, and it just like
Get it off! Get it off! Get it off!
Totally.
So, Carlin, what are you gonna make for that? Just a rope.
Gosh, I don't know. That's a good question. Kate Hall, that I mentioned, made a really great piece over a decade ago at this point, which was a sweatshirt that got warm. And so when you put your hands on the pad that got warm on the back, as a way to give yourself a hug. So one of the things that I think is really nice about hugs is the warmth. And so there's a lot of like emotional warmth. Like there's the ways like how do you bring in emotional warmth, but then also like is physical warmth, healthy junctions, of course, is the technical thing that one mind goes to. But warmth and compression are the physical things, but there's also the feeling that you are in the correct place. That you are, that you're in the right place. That you are in the best place in the universe. When being hugged by the right person is super nice. And gosh, how to do that, pull that off remotely is a really good question.
3 words. Mail order boa constrictors. I guess that's 4 words.
That's pretty good.
I was gonna say you could say mail order boas, but that's a very different thing.
Oh, yes. Well, I mean, that also could be a type of
But
hug.
not unrelated. There's a
Not
reason.
unrelated.
On a plane.
Yeah, and not a bad thing.
Hugs on a plane. Suggests Jay. With Sam Jackson. Get these motherfucking hugs off my motherfucking plane.
Oh my gosh.
Registers domain hugsonaplane.com.
Oh, that's good.
I'll never be able to recover.
Should we sign off there?
Yeah.
I don't think we can improve on that.
Cheers.
Join us next week for hugs and motherfucking hugs on a motherfucking
plane.
plane. Good night. Cheers.